people that's been getting into this consciousness that was dead a week ago,
Yes.
dead a month ago. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You see, and also, which in the 90s, shit might be damn near 2-3 months before you meet a person conscious. You see, everybody's just as stupid as hell. You see, so now this stuff is a mass awakening. We're going to get into that particular thing. So, any other questions?
Yeah, that was definitely the main one. So now let's talk about the sun. I know we've been focused on the moon.
Right.
What is going to be coming up with the sun and that energy and how it's connected with us?
Well, there's something called, in alchemy, there's something called the union of the sun and the moon.
Yes.
And the chemical wedding, union of the sun and the moon. And that's what you did have with this particular eclipse. Now, two things about it is based on the sun, because you always got to break stuff down from the petty universe, which is the holographic universe. You see what I'm saying? They got us looking all up in the sky, and we don't understand that that's only a backdrop of indication of stuff that's going on the inside of us. So the History
Right.
Channel will give you all the alien stuff in the UFOs, but it's always outside of you. You see what I'm saying? The History Channel will give you that whole specials on the universe.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? But all that stuff is always out of you. But what it is it's the inner sun and all of this type thing. That's only a holographic universe. Get Michael Talbert's book, Holographic Universe. We talk about this for years. So we always, in the metaphysical world, indicate what's going on the inside of us, because that's the only damn thing we can do something about. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Do something about. So in that particular aspect, you got the sun and the moon. You're also talking about a sacred marriage, a sacred union of two energies. And those two energies is male and female energies uniting.
Yeah.
You see, uniting as one androgynous entity. You see what I'm saying? Coming back together. That's where you have the two twin serpents. You got, in voodoo, you got Damballa, the great serpent, but you also have Aedo, the great two twin serpents. You see. So this is an indication when you see the staff of Tahuti, or for the people who don't know what the staff of Tahuti or the staff of Thoth, the medical association symbol, and you still have the two caduceus. You're talking about, number one, not only two forms of DNA, but two forms of the sun and the moon uniting and coming back together, because ultimately, when we fell from Atlantis, it was when they split us from an androgynous God into two parts of our half, battling to know each other again. So some of those particular things is actually going to be going down. But we're talking about here, ultimately this is going to produce the new sun, which is the sun that is permeating in the new world. The new world, the new world we're talking about here is talking about this other universe. The great indication, if you want to learn about that, is go by season 1 of The Fringe, or by season 2 of The Fringe. And The Fringe on season 2 started dealing with the parallel universe. This is old concepts. You could get the book Parallel Universe by Fred Allen Wolf. And so we got and they say we could even have multiple universes, but right now we got enough to deal with this one, which is at the threshold and at the doorway. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what's going to happen. So you're saying, well, when is this? It's going to be just like the old Bible said. It's going to be like a twinkling of an eye. You see what I'm saying? But the first aspect to hear that in is it's going to be a consciousness, and we already seeing it happen. People now talking about Bobby Hemmit. And last week, they was dead as hell.
Yeah, so true.
So, right. So my point here is, this consciousness is waking up. And so the 2012 they're talking about is a 2012 consciousness. You see, a 2012 consciousness is what we're talking about here. You see. So any other questions before we go into this?
I think we're ready. Okay. If anything, I'm sure you're definitely going to touch on it, but we can definitely go from there. Yeah.
Okay, now this is where we are as of, we're talking in the event of the solstice. Now this solstice is an entire season that started on the 21st, I say the 22nd because it's a double, but whatever, it doesn't matter because these numbers, you see what I'm saying, is only indicators of the season that we're in. So We do know that they had a major eclipse on the solstice, which was the first time in close to 400 years. And the last time this thing occurred, we was coming into slavery, or had been in it for maybe about 20 to 15 years or whatever, but we were at the first leg of this particular thing. So now, let me go into the spiritual aspect on what happened. Now, I had a birthday on November the 28th, and I turned 49. I lived with Barack Obama and everybody, a couple of crew and stuff. So I guess you would say when 11 starts, I will be in my 50th year, so I'll turn 50 on November the 28th, 2011. So my brother, his birthday is always 1 week after mine. I'm November 28th. His is December 5th, and he turned 48. Because I got a brother turned 49 in September. No, he turned 50 in September. I turned 49 in November, and the baby brother turned 48 on December the 5th. December the 5th was the day after I did the lecture in Birmingham, and we unleashed the Oshosi, we unleashed the Ogun information, and all of this type of stuff. But this is one of the keys. When I got back home, I think that Monday, I got a call from a couple that lives in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We call them
I said I love it. I have family.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You got that origin of South Carolina. See, Myrtle Beach is only maybe 40 miles from Mullins, so we, and that's where I grew up. So got a call from a group from a couple from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina called we call them Paul and V. Paul and V. Now it's very interesting here because I'm gonna speak on the show V. Now, the show V, the first season, you can go get it, go to Walmart or go wherever, get the first season of V. The second season starts on the 4th of January. Very key. On the 4th of January. So the second season starts. But Paul and V calls, which is the female, and she calls, I think that Monday. And she said, Monday or Tuesday, she said, on the 5th, I had a sister circle, she said. And she said, in that sister circle, I don't know, they had a sister circle. They was inviting, they invoked the female goddesses and was inviting them in to I think it was to help one of these sisters or what have you. During the process, in the middle of the circle, a certain time during the gathering with her and the sisters, they got a transmission that was a group of male deities wanted to come into the circle. And so they said, okay, then let them in. And so these male deities came in. And I think she said the last one that came to come in said his name and said he was Khonshu, the god Khonshu, and that he had been trying to get back for a very long time. For a very long time. So let me explain. Let me read you who Khonshu is. So I always give out bibliography. The book I want you to get, because it's going to go deep into his mysteries. It's probably one of the best books to polarize his mysteries. The other ones give you descriptions and stuff. But to go deep into the mysteries, I want you to get a book called Shamanistic Mysteries of Egypt. Shamanistic Mysteries of Egypt, by Nikki Scully, Nicki, Scully, SCULLY, and Linda Starr Wolf.
Yes,
Linda
excellent.
Starr Wolf. Did you get this book?
Yes, I have that. Yes, excellent book. Yes.
Awakening the Healing Power of the Heart.
Mm-hmm.
Of the heart. Now, it's very key now because Khonshu is also an Egyptian form of Eros that you all know as Cupid. So it might be some love up in the shit that's coming down. You see what I'm saying? So let me go into some science, but that's the book that we're going to put out. Now, let me read some other description from some other books on him, some shorter descriptions. Y'all all right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
We are fine.
Okay.
We are good.
Okay, now we got to break this thing down because he came today, and I've been dealing with moon and melanin for a couple of years, but he completed the job of breaking the complete mysteries of the moon down, and we're going to go into this. Now, Khonshu, or Kinsu, or he's also pronounced Cones, but Khonshu, Khonsu, is called the traveler or the navigator. This is something that's going to navigate you. He who crosses the sky in a boat. He is the god of the new moon. They said it was on the new moon when they did the circle. Now, he wore a skull cap, which was a round-looking skull cap, but it's silver, topped with a disc of the crescent moon. His head was shaved except for one scalp lock, or what you call the Horus lock. You see, Khonshu is also a form of the god Horus Heru. Or for those people who don't know who that is, that's Jesus, the Lunar Jesus, for the people who understand. But we would say Horus. In one particular aspect, or Heru, which means light. Now, his human body was sword tightly and held, which means he was in a mummy wrapping, and held under, he held a crook and frail. So he was wrapped like a mummy. That's very key that you understand that. Under the new kingdom, Khonshu gained popularity as an exorcist and a healer. Very key we say that because this is some healing energy that's getting ready to come down. So now, let's go on. Anytime you see the mummy represents transformation. A caterpillar goes into a cocoon to be transformed into a butterfly. You see the last Alice in Wonderland. I can't think of the character name. He went into the cocoon and was transformed into a butterfly. The last Alice in Wonderland with Johnny Depp and stuff was real serious stuff. So now, moving right along, let's get a couple of other descriptions of this particular god. And then I'm going to explain something else because he had 2 visits to the sister. But to give you another, Khonshu is the fruit of Mut and Amen. Mut is a goddess and Amen is also the goddess. And it says a completion of the Theban triad of Neteru. In pre-dynastic time, Khonshu existed as a moon god and one of the oldest gods who represented the different phases of the moon.
Right.
He was the measurer of the gods like Tahuti. His name is Khonshu, the chronometer. The chronometer of the and basically talking about measuring time. So now, he represented the different phases of the moon. He was the measure of the gods, like Tahuti, whom he was strongly connected to the god Tahuti. That's also with melanin. And stay on track, because we're going to bring this shit to the human body. And as the one who journeyed through the skies as the moon, he was called the traveler. Now, hang on to the word traveler. Hang on to the word the night sky. You see, and the different phases of the moon. Now,
I see. I can tell where you go.
Okay. Now check this out.
Yeah.
Now Khonshu came back the morning of the 21st to the Sister V. And said, remember, I told you that I was trying to get here for a long time. He said, this eclipse was what I was talking about.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Remember, that was a long time, about 400 years. Now, remember, like he told me this on the 5th, that he came and told her, I've been trying to get back here for a long time.
Right,
You see?
right.